Yeah, all ready to go here, and as you can see, we got something in the scroll saw ready to work on. And basically what we're working on today is some Celtic jewellery, something that we always enjoy doing. And if we get round to it, we've got Lovespoon to cut out as well. So we're going to start off. It shows in some ways actually, if we do get round to doing both, you'll see the contrast between doing a small item and doing a bigger item. One of the first things, just to show you, for doing this small item, I put that plate back in place. For doing a larger item, like a Lovespoon, I would actually take that back out of the way. So there we are, that's just all going live there. Thank you for joining us. Any questions, any thoughts? Hello to everybody. Let us know. I hope you can hear and see everything clearly. But yeah, for doing this small cuts, because they're only very small pierce work holes, those pieces of wood will just fall down the gap anyway. So we leave it in because it makes it more stable on the scroll saw base. As when we change over to doing a larger item, we will remove that, so these bigger pierce work holes, they will actually fall down the gap by removing that plate. So let's get into it. Any thoughts, any questions as we go along, let us know, and yeah, and we'll go from there. I just checked my sound. Yeah, I can hear me, so that'll be good enough for me. Right, mask on, and let's get cutting. Happy Easter Monday to everyone as well, forgot to say. There we are, that's the first little cut. One thing with this, we got some beautiful pieces of wood. The top layer is a piece of that Spanish Savina, and then the bottom layer is 2 pieces of yew. And we want that contrast in the colours of the wood. I'm actually doing this because somebody made an inquiry with us, and I haven't managed to get round to making any. So yeah, if that individual sees, we have managed to finally get round to making these for you. Who have we got there with us? We have Marty. Good morning, Marty. It's Bore da for yourself, good morning, and for ourselves is Pranangda, good afternoon. And we'll say good evening just in case anybody else is anywhere else in the world. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Marty. Hope all is well. Yeah, hope you enjoy seeing a bit of jewellery cut out on the scroll saw. cutting, yeah, it's coming along. We've got all the way around the pierce work there on the one side, and we're starting now to work our way along the other side. Checking on the back as we go to see if it's cut in nice and cleanly. So we've got one more cut around the heart, and then we got all of these cuts to go in and around that Celtic weave, and then we cut the surround. So the next cut is the last one for that heart shape. When you're designing stuff like this as well, we're always looking to make sure there's enough strength. So when we go to cut it in the vise, we've designed it so it'll be strong enough for us to carve later on. Just as little things like that you've always got to be conscious of. You know, if it's very delicate or something like that, when you squeeze it, it can break quite easily. So just little things to think of when you design things that you make. So far, so good. We're going a little bit more slowly than we would because we're cutting those three out at the same time. But because we're cutting out three at the same time, in the long run, we will be saving ourselves time making it in that way. Maybe a little bit slower than if we were cutting out one at a time. Well, it is slower, but because we're cutting out three, it's a lot faster than cutting out three one at a time. Okay, so on that bottom layer, we got a little bit of cleaning up to do on that last cut. So just in there, but I'm going to do that afterwards using a gouge. Simple reason, I don't want to end up taking too much wood out of it because it's such a delicate piece. It'll be easy to take too much away and actually spoil that layer, and then we're only getting 2 out for the work that we're doing. There we are. Right, we will continue cutting. We're making progress. Always enjoy with this that you see that different colour in the wood, and you really do see that beautiful contrast in it. And these are great ways then, great little projects to use up scrap wood. Where we're making bigger items, we can put the scraps to good use instead of just throwing them away. I've checked everything is nice and clear. Yeah, that's all okay. Okay, so it's a case of so far so good. We've got all of that delicate pierce work all in and around the heart and in between that twist all cut out. And now we go on to cutting the surround. Now, as I was doing this, I realized these strands here, I'm gonna have to bring in a little bit further, quite possibly. But those are guidelines, you know, and we have to, in some ways, improvise a little bit as opposed to sticking rigidly to them. So we got the end there. As we got the end, sorry, I'll take my mask off so everybody can hear me. I could just feel that it was burning a little bit. So let's see, what can we do about that? Right, I think those layers are going to hold together. So I'll just go back over, try to anyway, just to get a cleaner finish on that last little section. Just as we were trying to turn, it was just burning ever so slightly. Hello there, Gabby. Thanks for joining us. Gabby's just done a premiere on the wood turner. Piece of walnut that you're working in. So yeah, if you like your wood turning, check it out. Well worth having a little look at what Gabby's up to, and the wood and the carver as well. There's been a little delay in his latest upload, but well worth checking out when it is published. All going well, I think, next Friday. There we are. That's the first part of the process done. So we got 1, 2, 3. Now this is something I've found using this technique and this method. I usually find the top 2 layers cut pretty clean. And then the bottom layer, we're going to have to do a little bit more work. You can see sort of remnants of the whole, that bottom layer. We got one hole there that we got to try and get rid of. That's giving us a bit of a headache, bit of extra work. Let's have a look. There's one there. What I would sort of say, looking at it, let's have a look. It's just where the drill. This is something, to be honest with you, I've been saying for a while. We need to invest in a more accurate drill bit. And drill press. So that's a sort of method for anybody doing similar things. You need a really accurate drill press because that bottom layer, ever so slightly, needs a little bit more attention. But gives us 3 layers cutting out. Right, we're going to go on to the bigger item now.
How's the blade?
Blade's cutting fine, yeah. It's just that one there, that bottom layer. Have a little look at that one for me.
Have you put sellotape on that one?
I have, yeah. We've used that method. We put it on the bottom, yeah.
Okay.
We've got the 2 layers stuck together. And the first thing, when we move over to this one, because it's the bigger item, that's the bottom layer, so that's the worst of the 3. What it is, Thomas the Woodcarver's just having a little look at it. So yeah, what we're going to do then, we're going to feed the blade. We'll go on to, as well, we do a bit of carving at the end for you to see that piece of jewellery, how it comes out.
I'll leave that there for you.
There we are. So, same principles, same methods, just working on a bigger piece of wood sort of presents slightly different challenges. Hiya Mark, hope all is well with you. Happy Easter, good to see you joined us there. Yeah, we're just doing we've cut out a piece of Celtic jewellery so far. And thanks for joining us, of course. We cut out 3, but I handed the other one to Thomas Woodcarver because it looks to me like it needs a little bit of work on it, a little bit of attention before we go any further with it. But yeah, we cut these ones out, different pieces of Celtic jewellery that we've carved for everyone to see as well. Excuse me. And now we're just showing the difference of working in a larger item, cutting out a love spoon that all go in well, might end up in our online shop. So yeah, any questions, any thoughts? Hope all is well with everyone. Let us know as we go along. Okay, so whenever we can feel a little bit of resistance, it's usually because there's something blocking the blade. So what's happened? The block of wood that we've cut out that's left over here as sort of wedged in place. The best thing, because what can happen, that can make a real mess of where you're cutting out, and we want a nice clean finish. So release it, get rid of the block that's causing the problem, and then put that blade back in, and away you go. Don't force it, because it's one of those things that can end up burning the wood, which makes more work, and it can end up making a mess of your cut as well. able to get back into my shed later this week. Good to hear. I'm not in top form after making my own. Wishing well, Santa, for anniversary present. Ah, there we are. These things, you go up and down sometimes, but as long as you get back to it, that's the main thing. Get back in there and see how things sort of take you. Right, I'm noticing on the back there that looks a little bit wibbly wobbly. So, yeah, I mean that's the thing with it, Mark. Get back in the shed and see how things go. The main thing with all of this, and what I would say to everyone on that front, is you've got to enjoy it. You've got to relax and see what happens. We're not always at our best. Sometimes things are going the way we would like. It's like with that one. I'm looking hard at it now and thinking, oh my goodness, that's a bit all over the place. I'm thinking, do I sort of play around with it, try and adjust it, get it right? Or, no, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to leave it as it is. I'll get most of that out in the hand carving. What I'm going to do, just in case, because I've been working with this blade for a while, I'm going to change the blade. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Think of a project, Mark. Get yourself back into it. Think of a project that you'd enjoy doing the most. Yeah. There's loads that that's why we put all the templates up on the website. Find something that you're going to enjoy doing and get back in slowly. Let's have a little look. Yeah, we take that off there. That goes in there. Right, so let's get this blade back in, like so. I think I will just try and sort that out a little bit. Could do with a pen or a pencil for that job, but there we are. We'll do it by eye. Just the centerpiece here. Just try and sort it out. Get it a bit more. get it a bit better than it was. Or it is. It's better, but it's not perfect. Okay, for the time being, I'm going to have to go across to carving, because as you can see, I'm being beaten by the sun, so I'm actually cutting out at a 45-degree angle, which is a surefire way of making a mistake. So, I'm going to go and do some carving, and we'll see if I can get that finished off. If I stand here, see, I'm blocking out the sun, so I've been scroll sawing sort of at a 45-degree angle, which is not ideal. But we're going to change over. I'm going to go on to onto the workbench. Let's have a little look. Right, we go across, and I'll change the microphone as well. Excuse me. Wow. Right, we got that one on there, and let's just change over the microphone. There we are. Right. Yeah, that was the problem I was starting to face there, is because we were having that issue where the sun had come around, you're going to get yourself into trouble trying to carry on cutting out because I couldn't see it properly. It's something, to be honest with you, we have to invest in, is a blind for the one, for that one Velux window. Because once that sun comes around in the afternoon, you can't see. Right, let's have a little look. Howdy friends and neighbours. Hello there, hello Henry, hope all is well. I need to do something smaller. Yeah, that's it. You'll have to change things up, Mark, and try something different. But these things happen. Sometimes it's going great, and other times it's not happening so much. As you can see with that one there, where we were cutting out, and starting to get more difficult. We had to change the blades. So not all of the projects go perfectly, but we get there in the end. We keep trying. So what I'm going to do here now is we mark out the stop cuts, and we just mark the two top ones like so. There's something like this might be a nice little project to get into, Mark, is making a bit of jewellery. These seem quite popular, the different Celtic jewellery. Out of some of the different demonstrations we do, that's some of the ones that seem to get the most interest on our channel. Are little jewellery items for ourselves. See, we're always thinking of what we can actually do with all sorts of little offcuts and pieces of wood that are left over. And the one that we were looking at today, and we may get a chance to demonstrate at some stage, we were going to do, we got a doorstop marked out, but a bit of a controversial thing, because of course health and safety again. Some say that it's a health and safety hazard having a doorstop, sorry. Don't know how that all works, but I know Dad always tells me that health and safety don't like a doorstop. Right. So you can see, I'm just carving that out. I've got everybody as well in front of me now, so I can see. So any comments that do come in, we can see that straight away. Right, we're just going to do a little bit of shaping on the heart in the centre. So the main thing is the style that I use of carving is we just bevel the edges, bevel around the outside, just like so. Going round like so. And the difficulty with this one in many ways is it's fine for holding in the vise, but afterwards, to get a lot of the detail done, I'll have to pick it up in the vise to get that detail in the design. There we are, like so. Same again, just a little bit more cut out. And like so. There we are. And we're going to do same on this top one. just doing those stop cuts down into the wood to create that feel and look of a Celtic weave surround. And as we're cutting it all out, you just start to see the beautiful wood as we get rid of that paper. And this one that we're carving, the Savina, the Spanish wood, you do have to go carefully with it because it sometimes you can just have little areas that are a bit softer, and if you're not careful, you can end up cutting down more than you want to. Yeah, one thing I was going to explain. I've been putting in a bid. It's the first time in ages I've done this. I've been having a little look on eBay, and we've been bidding for a few gouges. We're always off and on looking for new gouges and tools, and I saw a few on there, and I thought, those look quite interesting. It's always those vintage gouges that we're looking for. Let's just bring it up. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, just for marking out these stop cuts. I'm just going to put it up on the side there. Just makes life a little bit easier. And I'll put it back in the vise, but I won't put it down on the carving block. If I put it down on the carving block, it's very difficult to get in there and cut away that wood. So we're just cutting it away like so. Same, whatever we do on the one side, we do on the opposite side. Back on the side again. And again, a little project like this highlights how those skills of wood carving and scroll sawing, they're a great combination, using them together. Which way we gone? That way there, so we're gonna have to go that way there. Not ideal holding the project, as you know my preference is to have it in the vise, but sometimes it's a necessary thing for us to do. That's what I would say as well, Mark. Thinking in yourself is I'd be having to think, what do you fancy doing? What's your favourite, some of your favourite projects and things to make? Or the other thing you could have a look at, Mark, is giving yourself a new little challenge. Trying something slightly different. Try a different technique, a different style, and see where it goes. That's how I sort of when I feel what can I try, that's quite often we have some nice ideas developed from it. So some of the ornament ideas and things like that is from where I'm thinking, right, what can we present to people then that's a bit different? What can we add to the workshop here that's a little bit different to what we already do? Right. And now we're the right side of Easter. We're seeing a few people today coming in the workshop, which is encouraging. There's been a rather long winter, so to see a few people coming in on holiday, that's great for us to see. And great for us to be able to share the work that we do. Okay, so just carving that down like so. Same on there. And I'm hoping you're able to see this beautiful piece of wood. And this wood, see, if we're not using it, in Spain they quite often use it as firewood. Which is mad to think, isn't it? Mad to think that this could end up on the fire. Such a beautiful piece of wood. But in where it comes from, see, there's not a lot of culture for sort of wood carving, that sort of thing. You do see a few practical spoons. Ah, right. Oh, it sounds like you're in a similar situation to Thomas the Woodcarver, Mark. Because last week, he was, he had to go up on the roof. He was sorting our roof out. And he's done himself in, at the moment, doing that. He's exhausted from doing that. He's halfway through because there's 2 dormers to sort out. And the one he's done, but he's still got the other to go. And but at the moment he's on hold because he's been very tired since he did that job. So yeah, as you say, focus on a few smaller projects, keep your hand in, keep your eye in, working on some smaller stuff. Yeah, that's the problem with some of the projects. Right, let's have a little look. Happy anniversary as well, Mark, with the... I am right in thinking you said it was an anniversary present you were working on. So happy anniversaries for whenever it is or was. Okay, so we're going to do regular shape in there. That one comes down there, like so. And we're going to go round there and the opposite way down there. And the same there. Just like so. And just like so. And I'm going to shape this bit. Take that last little bit of paper off there. And what we will do, I'll try and sand off the rest of the paper that's left over. Put a few gouges back. So they're not gonna, always concerned when you've got a lot of gouges. You know, it's easy to go and catch your hand on one of them as you're sanding. What we do, let's get a sandpaper. Where's my sandpaper block gone? Can't find it at the moment, so I'll use my carving block instead. So I use a rough piece of sandpaper just to take that yeah, perfect. And just sand it all round now. Reason we don't use a block to shape it is because, of course, the block can't sort of curve it all off, and we want to leave like that twist with more of a rounded off finish. But there we are. Gives you an idea. Hopefully now as well everybody can see that beautiful character and colour that we get in the grain. I'm looking across. At the moment, that sun has gone in. So to finish off the live stream, there you go. There's that one there. You can just focus in on 2 seconds. Just like so. So that's our piece of jewellery finished off. And I'm wondering, I can see that sun is coming back out. let's go back over to the scroll saw and see if I can finish the cutting on that Lovespoon. Hopefully so. Let's have a little look. Right, we'll change back over to the other camera and see if we're able to cut the rest of it out. Same again, we got that block of wood just stopping it from cutting. So we reverse it back out, feed it back in, just like so. Okay, so we got one little bit sticking out there, so we're going to sort that out. And I'll also look on the back, we got a bit there that should really come out, but I think we may sort that out one at a time. And we got a bit there, so we'll see if we can sort these little things out. And then we cut this around, and that'll be it. bear in mind, you know, it's a little bit on the slower side cutting out like that. And I mean, be honest, I'd normally do that on the bandsaw. But in fairness, you know, what are we cutting out there? We got a piece of mahogany and we got a piece of oak, and it's the best part. It was well over an inch thick, isn't it? 1.5 inch in thickness. So challenging for the scroll saw, but we got the job done. There we are. Right. Thank you all for joining us. Hope you all have a great week. Yeah, we'll be uploading on the Wednesday, and we'll upload on the Friday as well, and back live next week. Thank you all, and we hope you'll join us again soon.